Hello. I have come to share a little project with you. Now I keep attempting this video, and a little bit later on in the video I will explain why this has been a bit of a difficult task. Basically I'm calling these my book page trifold pockets, book pocket page thingies, and now they're a bit of a scrappy pocket tuck, whatever you want to call them. I have been desperately trying to use up some of the book pages that I have. So I've been making tags, or the start of tags, and I've been making some of these trifold page pockets. Yeah, trifold page pockets. That's what I call them. Because I have to make some space. We have a kitten and she is arriving on Sunday, and I just have too much stuff around and I need to get rid of it. So desperately trying to use stuff up, get it out of the way. So what this is there is a pocket here with a book page tag. On the inside there is another pocket with a small collage tag that I've made. And then on this side, thanks to the marvellous Nick, who is a genius, I've made a scrappy tag. I think she calls them raggies, to go in that final pocket. So when I hang this into my journal, if that's the journal page, it could be clipped in like that. This would hang over the edge if I want it to. If not, I could have it that way round, and I don't have to have a big tag in here, and nothing would hang out of the side. It's entirely up to you. So I'm just going to show you how I made these trifold page pockets. So you actually need 3 book pages. Now you can make these any size you want. You don't have, you can make them any size you want. All I have done is I have cut the height of the page, the height of a standard journal, an A5 page. So if you say this is an A5 page, and I've made this roughly the same size as, a piece of copier paper. Oh, sorry, just hit the camera. So you need 3 pages, and one of the pages you need to take about, you need to fold it in on itself. This is the page that you want the pattern on the inside. So you fold it in half, and then the right hand side you need to take off about 1 centimetre. Now for this particular book page it's perfect because it's roughly the colour strip. So that's step 1. Now I'm doing this completely glue and no ink, no sewing, but you can absolutely, these ones are all sewn. I've done a couple of glued and a couple of sewn, and I've made them in various sizes. So we've got this one 1 centimetre off the right hand side, picture folded onto the inside, and then you need another page that you fold in half, and the pictures are on the outside. So that is part 1. We're going to move that page aside so we don't get in a muddle. So what we need to do is, this is going to be the bit that is seen. We're going to fold that over, and this is going to be our first pocket, and we are going to line it up along the left hand edge. Okay, so the pocket is easy to get to next to that crease, so that's nice and simple, I hope. I don't know that I can really take much more criticism with videos. I did my mixed media, and a lot of people liked it, a lot of people didn't, and I get that, I really do, but there is absolutely no reason for people to be mean. There just isn't. And at the same time I watched a video by the lovely Genevieve, who is absolutely amazing, and she's been getting a bit of a hard time, and I just thought that's really unfair. And then the same time I watched 2 videos and read the comments, and people were just mean, and there's just no need for it. And it was, I was like, I'm never doing another video, I've had enough, people are mean. And then I thought, well no, not everyone is mean, and why should we stop doing something because there are some mean people out there? We don't know what they're going through. They might be having a really bad day. They're obviously unhappy for some reason. But, you know, it doesn't necessarily bother me that people are mean to me, but it really upsets me when people are mean to other people. And, you know, watching Genevieve's video did really upset me because she is brilliant. So anyway, that's enough of me blowing on. So this is what we have. So we have a full page on the left hand side and the back of a page on the right hand side, but when we flip it over it's going to be there. So I hope so far this makes sense. Yeah? Hope so. Okay, now this page we're going to fold in half, and it really doesn't matter which way you kind of fold this one in half because we are going to tear it in half. Now if you're a bit of a neat freak, you could absolutely cut this so it's dead straight. I like the torn edge, so I'm going to tear my page in half. Now if you wanted to ink, you would be inking as you go along, obviously, and I'm not inking, so I'm just showing you how I make the pocket. So now you need to decide which one you want on which side. Now this has got the red strip, so I think if I use the red strip there it's going to look a bit too odd, so I'm going to put the plain one there and I'm going to put the one with the strip here. So to make this pocket I'm just going to pop a little bit of glue just to the right hand side of my crease and along those edges. I don't know if it's in this take that I've said our kitten comes on Sunday, and it has been the longest 8 weeks ever, and the kids are just desperate for her to arrive. Can't wait. Super excited. Obviously I have a little bit of a gap there, but that's fine, that's not going to make any difference. Okay, so now we have a pocket here. So we've got a pocket here, a pocket here, and we're now going to make the pocket here. So this is going to go like so. So I'm just going to glue that this time around the pocket rather than the, I don't know why I glued the other one. It's really hard to concentrate when you know, you feel a bit disheartened, obviously. Yeah. I am loving this shimmer glue. For those of you that asked in the last video, this is the glue. It's called Cosmic Shimmer and it's brilliant. I think it's kind of like, I don't know, but I couldn't get hold of glitter glue here, and I think this is kind of our maybe UK equivalent, possibly, I'm not sure, but this I could get, and it is designed for glue, for gluing glitter. So now we have pretty back and a pretty front, or well, it's obviously going to be a mix. It's going to work any way round. So that's part one, and obviously you can sew it and it would look marvellous, or you can leave it plain. So this will go, how did it go? Like this. So it folds that way and it folds that way and it folds on itself. Now that would look awesome when it's all inked, wouldn't it? So obviously whichever way round you have it will depend on whether your bits hang out. Now on these ones they were folded the other way, really doesn't matter, this one folds this way. So on this one, if you wanted bits to hang out of your journal, you would put them in this pocket and then that would slot on your book page like so. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grab a tag that I'm not going to ink and I'm going to slot that into this pocket. I have another little collage tag that I'm going to slot into that pocket, and then we're going to make our scrappy tag to go in our other pocket. So I'm just going to grab, let me just grab one of mine. I've left it so there's journaling space on the back. So I'm going to tear a reasonably straight edge, because that's going to be the edge that goes into our pocket. And we need to make it the right height. So I'm going to leave the bottom flat, I think. I'm just going to make sure that fits, because this is going to become the base of our tag. Somehow it is going in there, isn't it? Maybe not. What have I done? Have I glued that? No. Whoops. It's a little bit flimsy when it's just a piece of paper. Maybe that's why it does fit. So what I want to do is I want to push this. No, it is a bit too tall. That's the problem. It's a bit too tall, because what we need to know is how wide we want to make this. So I'm going to pop it in, and then I'm just going to rip while it's inside the pocket, so I know how much is going to hang out of the pocket. Okay, so that is going to be the base of my tag. Now it's just a case now of finding scraps and bits and pieces to use. I have a book page, and I have a bit of an old book page that I'd started earlier. I'm going to tear that and maybe have that hanging out. I have somewhere some... Oh, I had a bit of a disaster. One of my evenings I made some greaseproof bags, but the glue I used didn't actually stick. So yeah, I had all these greaseproof paper bags cut out, but there was absolutely no way they were sticking to anything. So I think I'm going to have another piece of book page. I might have that like that, and I'm going to tear a strip of this. Especially if you're sewing, it kind of holds it together quite nicely, having a strip that will go along one edge. And I want, let's find a bit of a book page. As a bit of a focal point, because it is, you know, a bit of a scrappy tag. This is not a, you know, page kind of thing as such like Nick had made. This is just kind of using that idea to make a tag. So have that there. What else could we have? Let me see what I've got in my... Oh, got a bit of an embossed scrappy envelope. So I'm going to tuck a piece of that in too, I think. Now I don't want it sticking too far out over the edge of that page, because I've already decided that's kind of a nice place for those to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move those away so I have no idea where they're supposed to go, and I'm going to just glue these because we're not sewing on this one. Probably put glue where I don't need it now. Definitely have. Just wipe that off. Okay, so I only want a little bit of that showing. So now this is where I might have a problem, because this is the paper that doesn't glue. So I might have to go over this with the sewing machine in a bit anyway. But for now, it's no sew, for the purpose of this tutorial. And just put a little bit of glue on there. Probably putting way too much on actually, because this glue is pretty awesome. just going to leave a little sliver of that sticking out there. So that's stuck, and now I'm going to just glue the main focal picture on for the tag. And this is great if you've cut you know, parts of a book page out and you have an image that you don't know what to do with. Probably should have used Fabri-Tac on this, it might have been a bit better. I'm going to put this fairly over to the right, and I can already feel that greaseproof paper moving around under here. And then this is going to be our edge. It's actually a bit wide, so I'm just going to take a little bit of that off. I don't want that plain bit at the bottom. So, some more glue. It is so much quicker when I don't ink, and I didn't, you know, because if I'd have torn all this it wouldn't have really shown you the process very well, and couldn't really ink in advance. But these do look awesome sewn, but they look just as awesome glued, I think. So what I do is just gonna, I know I said no inking, but they do look so much nicer when they've got a bit of ink around the edges. Just very quickly do this. So just to give you an idea. Okay, so I mean, they do look completely different when they are sewn, but they are still really nice, and you've still got a writing area on the back when they are just glued, and that would go into our, that little torn edge there, that's the problem, and that will go into our pocket. And then the last thing I did was just found a word, and I don't think I've got many big words left now because I've used most of them. See if we've got a little poem. That's about rowan fruit, but I know it's not a rowan tree. We can do that. So what I would do is just tear a little piece of background paper just to carry on this kind of scrappy, and I know I've used a piece of whole paper, but these are sheets that went wrong when I tea stained, because the copier paper I usually use is brilliant. I can lay it out on my table and it never ever sticks, and I wanted to use some ivory paper, so I was proper excited when it arrived from Amazon, and then I laid it all out and probably 50% of it stuck. So now I have to kind of dye it one piece at a time. So that can go there, or lay it out one piece at a time. I don't have to dye it one piece at a time, obviously. Now I'm just going to get a bit of vintage photo to take some of that white off there. That one was ground espresso. That I've got, oh, that's the lid. So little bit of glue. Put that in there. It just kind of gives it a front. You know, so you've got a front and a back, really. That's all this does. Although I have got one somewhere that I have, you know, put little quotes and things up here and on every single page, which you could do, obviously. You can decorate these pages however you would like. This is just how I've done mine. So, there you go. Trifold book page pockets. Trifold book page pockets, yeah. I think that's what I agreed, wasn't it? There we go. And I stood on my pin. So I haven't actually lost this, but I have dropped it and then stood on it while I was finding it. So I don't know how long that one's going to last. I might have to take the charm bit off and attach to another one. So there we go. That's it for today's video. I will be back tomorrow with a flip through of, I've got 2 journals and 2 traveller's notebooks, but they are completely, they're just, well, I'll explain tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you all again soon. Have a great evening.